Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line, we are live. It's UFC 304 Fight Week. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy, Mike Finch. What's up, my brother?
Bro, I dressed up for the pay-per-view. I got at least the polo. AJ, what the kind of fitness shirt is this? AJ, can you have some respect for the pay-per-view?
I don't have a tie, man. If not, I would have threw a bow tie on right here.
You know why AJ's nice and loose? Because me and AJ killed our picks last week. For those of you who stuck with me, AJ knows I made my betting channel where I give out my picks now 5-0 on the debut. So 5-0 in MMA and 5-0 on the pay picks. Folks, we're winning bets out here. And AJ, you did it as well. You got what, a most confidence picks as well?
5-0, bro. 5-0. We swept it, bro. We both crushed it. Yeah.
I placed the bets first. I've actually already got 3 bets placed for this week because I couldn't wait. I've been looking forward to this card, but watching weigh-ins really did help. So I did end up changing 2 bets. I changed from Amanda Limoges to Verna Jandiroba, and I changed from Mo Usman over to the chubby white dude he fought. His name is Peterson. What the
Peter Griffin, Thomas Peterson.
Peter Griffin, that's it. And I saw people were shitting on him. And so that's why I was writing them off. And I'm like, I got to do my tape study. I felt a responsibility to. So throughout the week, I'm doing tape study. I realized this guy's got decent hands, throws good straight punches, ended up fucking beating Mo Usman. So the tape study was good. And then so were weigh-ins, right? It made me question the Miranda Maverick one. Now I put her in my parlay, but I saw how much smaller she was at weigh-ins, shit like that. So doing more research over the week, watching weigh-ins, it definitely helps picks. But like I said, this one I got this week I got some confident ones. So I already threw a couple hundred down.
Let's go. I'm excited for you, Finch, man. Listen, we got a great card to talk about, but I think it would be bad of us not to recap some madness from last week. Darth Bane, thank you for the $20. We appreciate you, bro. Let's go. He says, I swept last week's card, so thank you, gentlemen. Let's get the vibes rolling for this week. Bilal by unanimous decision. Cuddle fest. Wow. Okay.
Cuddle fest. You think Bilal wants a hug? You think Bilal wants a hug?
I think so. I think so.
That's sweet.
Shout out Taylor's girl, bro. He wants to be relevant for her. So shout out to him. There we go. Let's go.
Thank you so much for the 20, Darth Bane. You're the man. Yeah. Last week was a very good week.
I think a better week coming this week for us.
I've been so excited for this pay-per-view, man. I thought up until 24 hours ago, the main event was Tommy Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. They're going to let the welterweights go after the heavyweights because it's an interim title. Y'all know that's not an interim title. Y'all know that's the real heavyweight title. Don't play with me. I think Tom Aspinall should be main event, but it is what it is.
Listen, as long as it's an interim title, regardless of how we feel, it is what it is. There's 2 heavyweight champs right now. Because if you're defending interim belts, it's just nonsensical. I don't get it.
Yes. No, there's one heavyweight champ, and his name is Tommy mother effing Aspinall. And, they strip people when you get injured and you're out. I mean, how many times has this happened? They love John Jones, man. They love John Jones. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
But Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champ.
Agreed. Listen, we got to talk this Jake Paul fight first and foremost. So, Jake, we got to a little bit. Shout out Jake Paul for the win. I predicted this perfectly, bro. I called the round. I called how it was going to go down.
So Jake did Hawk Tua girl. She picked round 6.
Listen, she knows things. I guess she's on the right wavelength. Listen, I thought that Jake Paul's boxing skills would be the ultimate difference maker. Mike Perry didn't have anything for him with, the 10-ounce gloves on. But respect to Perry for taking some big shots Paul gets him out of there, beats another ex-UFC fighter. He's undefeated against ex-UFC fighters. That seems to be his bread and butter. After the fight, who does he call out? He mentions the name of Alex Pereira because Pereira's got, what, a 7-fight UFC contract signed? Because it's never going to happen. He doesn't want Pereira. Come on, that's a great call out to hype yourself up, but Pereira's not transitioning into boxing anytime soon.
No, that fight's not going to happen. You think Uncle Dana is going to let Pereira go just because he wants to see you get knocked out, Jake Paul? I don't think so. And Jake Paul finally did fight somebody in their prime, but what did he do? He picked on a welterweight, you know, and he's beating Luke Rockhold. Bro, you didn't fight him in bare knuckle. That is not a comparison, dude. You made him put on boxing gloves, and you guys could see the massive size difference between the two, even at weigh-ins when all their security guards fought each other. I had Jake Paul the whole time as well, but I didn't even give that out. I didn't even want, it's like it was in Florida. So, I thought Mike might have a little bit better of a showing than that. But yeah, when you're 2 weight classes plus above, it helps. And he took Mike out of his game. So good for Jake, man. He got a knockout, and that's a big deal against a guy with a rock head like Mike Perry.
Listen, it's impressive to beat Mike Perry in boxing, even though he's not a boxer. Mike Perry's a badass dude. But Jake Paul does make claims that he's going to be making a legit boxing run. I wonder when that's going to happen. I mean, he's fighting Mike Tyson, who's 57 years old, in November. I don't even want to see that fight. I don't think that should be happening. I think in a sense that's a disgrace to the legend of the game. Size difference was crazy. I also think Jake Paul has pushed a narrative out and sold a lot of fans on UFC fighters can't box, MMA fighters can't box. I will argue this stance pretty strongly. I even saw MMA Guru essentially give up on all of MMA fighters' boxing skills. I think there are MMA fighters that can box at a relatively high level, at least a level where they could beat a Jake Paul. But when you're taking on welterweights, when you're taking on former lightweights, when you're taking on guys in their 40s, when you're taking on an Anderson Silva who's over 45, yeah, you're going to have a realistic competitive edge. But if you put in there like a Sean Strickland, that's a different fight. I think Sean Strickland's good to go in a boxing match with Jake Paul. There's guys that can beat Paul. Now, is he going to beat a good amount of MMA fighters in boxing? Yeah, and he should, because he's 10-1 as a professional boxer. Say what you want about competition level and whatnot. Jake Paul has a lot of experience in the ring, and Mike Perry is not a boxer. He's a bare knuckle fighter, and he does damn good at bare knuckle. We knew his technical skill set wasn't his bread and butter. Bro, I watched Mike Perry train. Remember when I got to go watch him train?
Yes.
I told you about it. I sent you the pic. I watched everything, and I said, wow, Mike Perry's really not a boxer at all. His boxing skills are not to the level of professionals, man. But Jake Paul is.
Jake knew that because Jake sparred Mike. Yeah. Jake had already had Mike out for sparring. You see how Jake Paul's whole career is just kind of fake. It's kind of doctored. He'll take the 40-year-old retired UFC fighter. He'll take on the guy who, a lot of old guys, small guys. You see what he's doing. You see what he's doing. Gives himself these advantages. Why not? But it's our job as analysts to call him out for it, right? And you brought up MMA Guru. MMA Guru hasn't been doing his fucking homework, okay? He hasn't been doing his homework. He's the one who told me that Peter Griffin sucks, okay? And then I look him up. I'm like, he's about to fucking beat Mo Usman. And he admitted it on his last show. He hasn't been doing his homework. He criticized MMA fighter saying it's a fake sport. He was saying because Alex Pereira came into MMA and is able to beat the top light heavyweights in the UFC, that it's a fake sport. How long have I been telling you the light heavyweight division is weak sauce? How long have I been saying that to you? They lost their good wrestlers, Corey Anderson, Phil Davis. Who knows what a young Alex Pereira brought up against a Phil Davis or something when he first came into the UFC. Who knows how that fight goes, okay? Now he got better, but they navigated his pathway where he fought lots of strikers, Bruno Silva, even Jan Blachowicz was taking him down. So, Yuri Prochazka MMA Guru might have picked him and been upset that Yuri lost, but it doesn't mean we got a fake sport here. It means we have a guy who trained with Glover Teixeira, who got his jiu-jitsu black belt, who did it the right way, who was already the best striker in the world, and came into the UFC, and all he needed to do was defend takedowns and get a decent ground game, which he did. That doesn't make it a fake sport. There are people who did track and field at a really high level in the NFL. There are, it's very, very difficult to be the UFC champion, full stop. How the fuck did I get there? What were we talking about? Who cares? Jake Paul got the dub, but it was to be expected.
To be expected. Jake Paul gets the win. Calling out Pereira's a joke. He'll be fighting Mike Tyson next, and then we'll see what's next for the Jake Paul saga. For Mike Perry, too, did you see Conor said he's released from the BKFC?
Conor's fucking around. Conor, that's sick, right? Conor's fucking around.
Yeah,
Conor's not serious. Okay, and that made headlines in a very positive way. It was funny. Was it not funny?
It was funny as fuck.
He achieved his objective. It was funny.
Yeah.
Mike Perry will be right back in BKFC. He's in contract.
He is. Let's keep running to the main event from the UFC last weekend. Verna Jandiroba versus Amanda Lemos. Mike, I'm glad that you pick flipped. I'm glad that you came over to my side, because if you look at it, Jandiroba's jiu-jitsu right now is top caliber. I don't know if there's anybody at 115 pounds, I guess, besides Tatiana Suarez, right, who has on the mat that level of BJJ skill, right? Different style with Jandiroba, not necessarily the same level of wrestling, but the grappling transitions were crazy. Lemos is an awesome striker, but how many times we see in knockouts with women at 115? It's on the relatively uncommon side, which is why I backed Jandiroba, right, to get her down. The armbar was badass, and I think Jandiroba is in her absolute prime right now. She seemed to have put it all together, and I want the Weili fight because Weili hasn't fought somebody with this level of submission skill in a UFC run. It's a really cool matchup.
But dog, first of all, I should make this point. The striking difference between Weili and Jandiroba is nuts. And even against Lemos, she's reaching. She's shooting from so far out. I like what DC said. He's like, she's not even shooting takedowns. She's just trying to like football tackle her. And she's running this girl into the fence. And then once she's on the fence, she starts wrapping that leg up. She starts at, she's got nice jujitsu. And you compared her jujitsu to Tatiana Suarez. Full stop. Jandiroba is a lot better at jiu-jitsu. Pure jiu-jitsu, like you put like the gi on those girls, Jandiroba's subbing Tatiana Suarez. Without the gi in a mixed martial arts fight, now we're talking. I mean, if that's what you're saying, then
I'm MMA grappling.
Yeah, like come on, in a full guard situation, I think Jandiroba's a lot more elite than any of these girls. But you know what Tatiana Suarez is a lot better at? Wrestling. Tatiana Suarez is a wrestler who learns submissions for MMA. I put that in a different category, AJ, than I would, a pure jiu-jitsu fighter who shoots from way too far out and seems vulnerable when she does. But you make a point, these women are not getting one-punch KOs, and so she can kind of get away with it. I think the difference is Weili. So now you just made me give my fucking pick. I would pick Weili over Jandiroba.
I think I would too.
Weili's striking is just not one level above, right? We're talking multiple levels. But what I saw was an Amanda Lemos who was too passive in the grappling. And so what I really just told people was to get off that fight. Like, don't bet that fight. And I got them off of the Mo Usman one. It's like, you bet your most confident shit. And, that's been working. I think the skills of Jandiroba are tremendous. It's just that there are some real vulnerabilities, and somebody like Weili will find them.
Yeah, agreed. I think Jandiroba, very good against fighters with an obvious slight flaw in the grappling. Thug Rose Jandiroba is crazy, but different weight class now, right? With Thug Rose at 25. I think Jandiroba Weili is a fight to make. It adds some excitement, but Weili can wrestle really well. I don't think Jandiroba gets her to the ground. And then if we're talking striking, I think that Weili's pretty clean with it and would outstrike Jandiroba pretty bad. It would be an interesting fight, though, because if Jandiroba somehow is able to take the back, her transition skills are crazy. I think she can lock something up on anybody, but the likelihood of her getting to positions, I think, is more on the, low side.
It's so hard to get a submission against a good MMA fighter. It is difficult. You got a champion like Weili,
Right.
she got a big old head and a short, stocky neck. I feel like even with Jandiroba on her back, she survives the round and comes back out. And her wrestling is just levels above these other girls. The one girl who's going to be able to potentially out wrestle her is Tatiana Suarez, who is way, way bigger. I mean, Tatiana Suarez she looked like my height. Like I was going around doing rounds in the gym, watching her go. I'm like, I'm hoping I get to roll with her, because if a girl could kick my ass in grappling, it'd be amazing, right? I think she was how many inches taller? I don't know. She's a big girl, and she'll be a lot of trouble for Weili. As to where Weili's got the 2 out of 3 aspects, right? I like to break things down into 3 aspects: the striking, where the fight takes place, the wrestling, and then the submission, grappling, and ground and pound and all that on the floor. 2 out of 3 go to Weili easily against Jandiroba.
Agreed for sure. Hopefully we see the fight. I think it's a possibility. Overall, this card was an unexpected banger. We had some sick knockouts. There were some really good fights on it. If you look at the results, if you didn't hear earlier, Finchman 5-0 on the confident picks. Myself 5-0 confident picks. We're bringing the thunder, my man. We're bringing the thunder. So let's keep on running it. We got to jump to UFC 304. We're going to break down the entire card, starting from the first fight of the night all the way up to the top. So make sure you guys smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. Let's get it. First fight on it is Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. I'm going Bukauskas on a competitive decision. He's made claims in an interview recently that this is the most dialed version of himself ever. Prachnio's a guy that's awkward, though, right? He comes from the karate style. He has in and out darts of burst of shots, right? But he's not clean with it like a wonder boy. He's a little sloppier with his striking. Does kick to the legs really well, and Bukauskas has had struggle with the lower legs getting chopped up. He got oblique kicked from hell against Khalil Roundtree. I'm going to call it a damn knee stomp. That knee almost came out of place permanently, but has fought his way back. Bukauskas' boxing is a little cleaner, but we do have to worry with both of these guys. I'd say like they're 2 flight risk type of fighters. I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I think Bukauskas is better at boxing. I think that Prachnio has better leg kicks. I don't think either guy is a substantial grappling threat in the fight. So how do you really call it? I think I go with the guy with more upside potential and a bit younger. I'm going to go Bukauskas by a decision, but there's a world where Prachnio could land some shots and maybe eke one out. I don't know. I think Bukauskas still has improvement that's being made consistently, and I feel like he's got a shot to outbox Prachnio over the 3 rounds.
On this card, I ain't fucking betting on this fight. I'll give that out right now, folks. Fuck, you're gonna make me pick between Bukauskas and Prachnio. I was leaning Prachnio earlier, but we're probably looking at a close decision between these 2 men. I mean, Bukauskas got fucking destroyed by Patterson, but Patrino's kind of a destroyer. Bukauskas, he wins by knockout, and he could definitely land some shots on Prachnio. I mean, we've seen Prachnio knocked out before. I'm guessing Prachnio can eke out a decision here. He's dealt with guys who are more dangerous. I mean, he's beaten a William Knight. He's beaten even Devin Clark.
Knight, though.
Yeah, fucking he's a fucking slugger. What? William Knight's got some power. Does William Knight not have power?
He's falling off hard, my man. He's losing on the regional scene. I don't know. At one point, I get what you're saying, though.
What level are we talking about of MMA here, AJ? This is not, All right,
yeah.
Wow, he hates my Prachnio pick. Just
no, I don't
for that,
hate it. I don't hate it. I get
sticking
it.
with it. Give me Prachnio, but it's an early lean. I don't fucking know. I'll research this fight more. Early lean for Prachnio, but I wouldn't touch this thing. What do they say in The Grinch? With a 39.5-foot pole, right? I wouldn't touch it.
The odds for the fight have Prachnio as the underdog at +130 with Bukauskas as a -150 favorite. It is interesting to see the odds favoring Bukauskas just simply because Prachnio, I mean, he's got the win over Devin Clark recently. He's been in the UFC for years. There are things to like, but ultimately, neither guy's top caliber. Over 2.5 is -205. You're playing with fire, throwing down, anything substantial on this one. We're going to have different picks, but maybe Finchman will switch to the dark side later in the week. We shall see. I'll go Bukauskas on a close decision. Finchman on Prachnio. Not a great bet either way. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, Shauna Bannon versus Elise Ardelean. I'm going to go with Shauna Bannon because she's been consistently fighting at a somewhat higher level as a very experienced amateur. And in all actuality, didn't have a bad performance against Bruna Brasil, was able to win the 3rd round. On the side of Ardelean, she's an OnlyFans model. She's supposedly making $12,000 a month doing that. What are the motivations now, right? Coming into UFC, 9-5 pro, but 5-fight win streak. So there's got to be some respect on her getting dubs, but her last opponent was 0-3. Let me reiterate, 0-3, bro. Come on. Like, you can't be fighting that level, and then I'm going to pick you to get a win. But years ago, she fought against a young Wei Li. She got absolutely destroyed on the ground, but she actually landed some punches on the feet. Her striking isn't bad. Her grappling is meh. I think Bannon's cleaner with it. She's definitely more technically sound on the feet. I do think if they did tie up and go to the ground, I got to favor Bannon. I got to go with a girl that is just seeming to have higher caliber upside potential. But Ardelean is tough. I couldn't go out and pick her, but like I remember watching the tape and I wrote down, like, I like this girl's style. She's got some dog in her. There's potential, but I'm watching her fight girls that are like, 3-3, right? It's against who? She fought Wei Li and Diana Belbito, which are good names, I guess, on the resume, even in loss. Right, though, a decade ago. So give me Shauna Bannon.
How do you not go Shauna Bannon here? I mean, Shauna Bannon has fought legit competition. It's kind of set up for her to win this fight. I mean, she's gonna probably be able to just skirt by with a 30-27 here. Ardelean, she could take girls down and rear naked choke them when they suck. Like, I don't know. And the odds aren't that wide for this one. So it makes me want to dig in and do my research on this one too. But come on, man. I don't know. I think the obvious pick is the girl who's fought real competition. And yeah, you just mentioned Wei Li, but again, that's back in 2016. I think maybe back when she actually wanted this game. Yeah. And now, getting a shot in the UFC later in her career. She stopped for years. I don't know if she was training or what it was, but I mean, talk about being, just ushered into the UFC, fighting girls who are 0-1, 0-3, and then welcome to the UFC. Fuck, I'm coming back if they'll do it for me. You got to give me Bannon. And Bannon's a bit of a decision machine. She has finished girls, but not good girls. So let's just say 30-27.
Bannon's a -180 favorite, which, being a full-time fighter at the end of this might end up looking like a more lopsided line, which is interesting, though. She opened up as a -300 favorite, but in the past day, it's dropped 120 points. I guess there is some underdog love on Ardelean. She's she's a +155 dog with an over 2.5 at -260. Probably going distance. We're both going to call Bannon for the win. Interesting to see the underdog love on Ardelean. I get why, right? Because you're tempted to go underdog. Oh, she's dog money shit. Look at it. Oh, she scrapped with Wei Li a decade ago. Oh, she's on a win streak. But I think you got to favor Bannon's technical skill set. So we're both going with her.
You have to. I mean, and with the odds kind of okay to bet on, maybe it is something I'll dig into more. I'll definitely do more analysis. But doesn't jump off the page, right? I just got to figure out how bad Ardelean really is, right? How vulnerable is she going to be? If you're thinking about betting, I'd be shocked if anybody actually puts some money on Ardelean. So I think the odds are going to get only wider on this thing. I expected this to be, 6-1.
Yeah, well, guess not, man. Sneaky odds. Who knows? Maybe Bannon, there's value on her if it's as big of a mismatch.
A couple odds surprised me on this one. Yeah. I usually don't jump into the show looking at odds, but I did my picks first, and then I decided to look. Couple lines on this card surprised me. This is one of them.
Let's go. Next fight on the card, we have Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosbie. I think Sam Patterson's going to submit Kiefer Crosbie. I mean, Patterson's chin is something that there's a question mark around, but let's look at it. When he was fighting at 155, yes, he was knocked out by Ashmoos, but I don't think you should judge him by that worst performance, 15 pounds down in weight in a UFC debut against Ashmuz, who's a hungry guy with a lot of skill on the feet and a lot of explosiveness. Even though Kiefer Crosbie is like substantially bigger than Yanal Ashmuz, there's an obvious skill set difference. Kiefer Crosbie's a brawler, man. I actually will say Kiefer Crosbie reminds me more of like a guy that be doing bare knuckle. I don't know. It's kind of like a poor man's Mike Perry. He's got good hooks. He's got some chaotic flurries. He beat Cowboy Oliveira 2 fights ago on the regional scene. But even that, he dropped him. And then he was sloppy with the combos that led to the stoppage. He just doesn't seem to be UFC caliber to me. Like, yeah, against Kevin Jousset, he landed a few decent shots, but like they were mostly blocked by the guard, and Jousset gets him to the ground and strangles him. I think Sam Patterson's jiu-jitsu is pretty fucking good, and I also really favor him. There's a certain mindset, right, that goes into a guy who is like, 11-2, that's been training his ass off, trying to get to the UFC, versus Crosbie, who got there later, was a washout in Bellator. I'm not saying he's just taking the fight for the money, but I think we've kind of seen Crosby's ceiling. And ultimately, I don't even think he's UFC level. I think he's a fun watch. I think he's got a good style to bring entertainment. But this fight will probably hit the floor. And how can I back a Crosbie who has quit in him? We've seen him broke. Last time he broke, and that's why he got strangled. He's like, fuck this, I'm done, tapping out. Sam Patterson, you better shut his lights off. He's not going to quit. I'm going Sam Patterson by submission. I think he gets the fight to the ground. The jiu-jitsu difference is real. There's an obvious, difference in the height and reach here, with Patterson being a lot taller and longer. And I don't think he's a dead man in the striking. Like, yeah, Crosbie has a slight power edge, but it's not like Crosbie has killer technique or crazy explosiveness. The way Patterson loses, if he gets overzealous on the feet and Crosbie loads one up from last week and finds the dome, it could happen. There's probably a 1 in 10 chance that it does, but like, let's go with the likelihood side. Sam Patterson should submit him in the first probably 7.5 minutes.
Bigfoot Silva said before he fought Alistair Overeem that when Alistair Overeem has the fight going his way, he's a lion. But when the fight's not going his way, he's a pussycat. And I believe that you can make that comparison to a Kiefer Crosbie. Kiefer Crosbie is a dangerous guy. He has a thud. He turns his hips into his shots, but if the fight's not going his way, if you could score some takedowns on him, if you could start working, you can rear naked strangle this guy. And he just got rear naked strangled. And then Patterson's coming off of the rear naked strangle victory. I'm going to go Patterson with another rear naked strangle. Even if this thing gets a little chaotic, I do think Patterson can come back after losing a first round and find a submission victory over there across the pond. Give me Patterson submission.
Patterson's a really big favorite. -350 right now, with Crosbie at +275. Under 1.5 is -200. I think there's a good chance of that. Patterson by sub is -105. That's the official method of victory call for me. I don't think this thing's going distance. I think Patterson strangles him.
I think so too. Do we have somebody who's first? Are you new to the show, sir? Are you new to the do I have to break it down for this guy, AJ?
You do.
Rear naked strangle. Yeah, because I speak English, okay? If you come over from Brazil, you might say, it's a rear naked choke. No, it's not a rear naked choke. You choke on a chicken wing. You strangle a person. I'm cutting off the blood flow to the brain. If you cut off 30% of the blood flow to the brain, you'll get the person to pass out. That's what we're doing here. It's a strangle. It's not a choke. And I think you're going to see Kiefer Crosbie get strangled.
Let's go. Absolute savage mode. Agreed. Finch and I both, same side. Patterson, submission. Let's keep running. Next one, we got Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I love this, okay? I'm going with Oban Elliott to win this fight. The Welsh gangster has my attention. He's got a lot of dog in him, and he proved that on the Contender Series. He had a dominant win against Val Woodburn last time. He was caught early in the fight by a big punch by Woodburn, but ultimately recovered and completely dominated that fight on the ground. That guy's funny. I strangled my chicken. Oban Elliott's skill set on the floor is quality. He has very good jiu-jitsu skills. The question mark lies on how does he deal with Parsons' physicality and wrestling ability. Because I think in the striking, Elliott's also better. I'd probably say striking, Elliott, wrestling, probably Parsons, but it's a probably because we haven't seen enough of Elliott at a UFC level to know for sure. Jiu-jitsu wise, I think Elliott's a little slicker than Parsons. Now, I know you like to talk to 2 out of 3. I guess in this fight right here, we lack the empirical evidence to say it in absolutes. The only area that I feel relatively confident that there's a sure is Oban Elliott's better on the feet. The grappling's going to be very interesting for me, and I'm curious to see how they match up with the American-style wrestling versus Oban Elliott, a Wales fighter who does have relatively good takedowns, pretty good jiu-jitsu skills, pretty good transitions on the ground, controls the back nicely. I also think Oban Elliott is extremely confident going into this fight. Chael Sonnen knows of him. He's a big Chael Sonnen guy. That's where the Welsh gangster nickname came from. So I have to ride with Oban Elliott to find a way. I think he beats Preston Parsons. Coming through from America all the way to the UK, home field advantage. I'm giving it to Oban Elliott.
I like it. Thank you, Ty Gaines. Does that mean my logic's on steroids? I'll take that.
It does. It does.
The Wales fighter? Is that what you just said?
The Wales
Do you
fighter.
mean the Welsh fighter, AJ? I'm like, Finch is Welsh, so I'm gonna defend
the Wales fighter.
Right
He's
here,
from Wales.
The Wales fighter?
It's like saying the American fighter, right?
Holy shit.
The America fighter.
You tripping. I'm thinking Parsons because he's more proven, man.
Fair.
Parsons has got better wins. Elliott, we've seen him beat who? Val Woodburn. Val Woodburn did not turn out to be great, right? As to where I've seen Parsons up against better competition. I think pressure Parsons win over Matthew Semmelsberger is sick. The Trevin Giles fight was a split decision. Trevin Giles is a vet. Evan Elder win. These are fucking good wins, man. I think that matters. I see what you're saying with the 2 out of 3 with Elliott. I'm not sold that he can sub him on the ground, though. I could see Parsons scoring key takedowns, landing some elbows from the top position. It's an interesting one. Definitely not a heavy lean for me, but I'm going to go with Parsons. I'm on the other side, AJ, but it's a good fight. And it's an early lean.
Yeah, no, I respect the call, man. I don't know. I have an inkling on this one. It doesn't have to make a ton of logical sense because I think we're in the UK. I think Oban Elliott's got some push behind them. I don't know. I don't think they're setting them up to lose here against Preston Parsons. I feel like this is a live fight.
AJ thinks for himself, man.
Sure.
Sure. I was talking to somebody today about politics, and they just like regurgitated something from MSNBC, just like a talking point. That's not us here, folks. No. AJ's thinking for himself, so he's gonna come up with his own pick. Okay, that's how we do it around here.
Let's go. Oban Elliott's a plus 115 underdog. Preston Parsons is a minus 135 favorite. Looking at the over minus 135 also. I think over 2.5 is likely. You're playing with fire, going with the prop bet sides here. I think for me, it would be Oban Elliott on the underdog money line. I probably am going to, wait till Friday to, decide if I actually pull the trigger. But right now, I'm feeling it right now with Oban Elliott. But I want to see the face off. I want to feel the energy. And I want to see if, I'm Team Elliott for the W. I'm thinking that his game is solid. I don't know. I got a feeling Oban is a little bit something. I don't know. There's something there that we haven't seen yet from him is what I have inside of me. My thought process is he's got some upside potential we might not know about just yet.
Just an early lean. I'll try to dig in a little more. I only saw him on Dana White's Contender Series and then the Val Woodburn fight. So, interesting. I like that you're out there. Apparently, you're the only capper out there for him. So,
I guess so. You know why? Because I'm not a capper, bro. I'm an honest analyst, bro.
No cap.
That's it. No cap.
For the kids.
Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Mick Parkin versus Łukasz Brzeski. Listen, Łukasz Brzeski is going to be in the top 5 within 9 months at this rate, bro. I'm picking him to knock out Mick Parkin in the second round. He's going to catch him with an eyes closed, looping right hook over the top. And if you don't think I'm, kidding, I guess you're not cognizant of me fucking around. Obvious pick is Mick Parkin. If somehow Brzeski wins this fight, that would be a disastrous fumble for Parkin. Parkin has the advantage. As Finch likes to say, striking, Parkin. Wrestling, Parkin. Jiu-jitsu, Parkin. How does Brzeski beat him? I can't really see it. Brzeski's takedown defense is pretty bad. Brzeski has okay striking, but I don't think he's super crisp. I think Parkin has a higher fight IQ. Parkin is a guy that performs kind of to the level of his opponents. He's yet to have an impressive finish inside of the UFC, which is something I don't like about Mick Parkin, of course, because he, fought against Mo Usman and he's taking damage and losing the first round, right? And it's not a good look now seeing what happened with Usman and Peterson. But I won't lie to you, Finch. I have a theory that Inside Info gave us the answer. Mo Usman came into that fight injured. He had some type of knee injury, and that's why the line completely flipped before, because a lot of people with inside information were betting Peterson. Something I'm throwing out. Don't know that it's absolute fact, but I have a feeling because the way Usman was moving, it didn't seem like his normal self. But that's fine. That's a conspiracy. I think Mick Parkin wins by a decision. And I do think he has a good chance of getting Brzeski to the ground, controlling him against the cage. Brzeski easily could have lost that Walter Walker decision. He could be 0-4 in the UFC. I guess on the flip side, you could say, but he should have probably beat Martin Buday. It was a relatively close fight that he ended up, losing a potentially bad decision on. But that's years ago now. Brzeski hasn't really shown much improvement, whereas Waldo knocked him out in the fight before Walter Walker. I think you got to go a higher IQ fighter in Mick Parkin. He's training alongside Tom Aspinall. He's undefeated as a professional. I got to go with a guy that's a proven winner. So Mick Parkin to get it done. It should definitely happen. Brzeski doesn't have the power to put him away, and he doesn't have the grappling skill to offer any threat. How's he going to beat him? He's got to outstrike him for 3 rounds and stay on his feet. Even if somehow Brzeski's landing some okay shots, I think Parkin takes him down. I don't believe in Brzeski's takedown defense at all.
Yeah, Mick Parkin should dominate this fight. This is one of those matchups on the card where they go, we're in England. How can we hook up this English fighter with a nice dub, So, come on, Mick Parkin all day in this one. Now, the real question is, does he finish the fight? Because Mick Parkin has been something of a decision machine, and this is a moment where he has an opportunity to build a highlight reel. Let's see if he does it. Dylan, I've seen you ask 3 times. You're gonna. Many Men was last week, okay? We're on to this week now. I got new songs. And by the way, I talked to a music producer this week, and I sang for him Parlay Time. And he's like, all right, send it to me. That's what he said. He said, send it to me. Send it to me. I'll hit you with a price. We'll mix and master it. So
no shit.
We'll see what's up. We'll see what's
right,
up.
let's go.
I did wear an orange sweater last week, and I can't remember where I got it. So I'm pretty sure I got it on like that Wish app.
Wish app?
Like, super
Dude, you
cheap
can get
clothes.
nice stuff for cheap there, bro.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be primo
Pretty sure a
quality.
Chinese child slave made it, unfortunately. So
Unfortunately.
that's sad. I don't want to support that for the record. But
you know what?
I did get $7 shoes off of Wish, so
really,
and I still wear them all the time. So
I mean, Shein, it's the same type of thing, right? It's like Wish
I really try not to support that. I haven't bought anything from there in over a year. Okay, I got the electric car now. All right,
yeah, you are.
We've been hitting some bets. I got to spend the money somehow. So I'm trying to do better for the environment.
It's good.
I'm trying to not support child labor. Okay.
Good.
I cleaned up on the beach a little bit. We're doing work here. I can't
Good
take credit
for
my wife.
Finch.
My wife went actually out and did a cleanup. Like when I'm at the beach, I'll pick up a couple things. We're doing our best for society, folks. Maybe don't support child labor. Okay.
Finch for office, maybe in the 2030s.
After watching this fucking election season, I'm good. How is this election season not on Netflix? This shit is crazy. Joe Biden dropped out this week. We got Trump getting shot. Did you see the head of Secret Service getting roasted today? How has she not stepped down yet? What is going on in American politics? This shit is entertaining as it can get. This is way more entertaining than the new Star Wars episodes coming out, which I love Star Wars. Okay. I didn't watch the last one. What's it? The Acolyte, it's kind of woke now. But this shit's way more entertaining. Just turn on the news. You're going to be super entertained. So I don't know. Maybe we steer clear of politics, AJ. I think I've said too many bad words on this show to run for political office at this point.
Am I good?
You are completely frozen. Am I frozen?
No shit.
AJ's finally.
Wow.
I'm the one who's good, and
You can
AJ's
hear
the
him?
one who's frozen. I'll hold it down while AJ's frozen. I can hear you, but
Yeah.
you are a blurred image.
Oh,
And I don't know if you can go in and out. I don't know if the show will keep going. So am I about to host the rest of the show by myself? Where'd he go?
my
Folks,
back?
you're stuck with me. Oh, there he is. All right. I can
You
hear
see me?
you. I just can't see you.
Are you
Folks,
kidding me,
can you
bro?
let us know in the chat if we can see AJ? We've
What the
lost
hell's going
AJ.
on? Bro, I got plugged in fucking Wi-Fi and I'm losing service. Jesus.
It's a nice still image of you. It really is. It's a nice shot.
Listen, I'm a very photogenic guy, I've been told.
You're smiling. Dylan says, time for a Ripski. How would you even know, Dylan? You can't even see him right now. How would you know if he's taking a Ripski? Okay? How would you know? AJ could be changing into a pink tutu right now. You would have no idea. And Brick Laser is correct. AJ is frozen like Elsa. Oh, he's back. What's up, dude?
My back? Can you see me?
I can see you, Don.
Thank God.
Should I
It's a night-
pretend like I can't see you? Like one of those moves?
Yeah. It's a good
Just
move,
like-
actually. Bro, you know what it is? It's destiny. I gotta set up my new computer. I've been on the old one, but I've been planning on setting up. Tonight's was the push. I got to do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sitting right in the center, man. Let's read the odds off for this fight. Minus 270 for Parkin. Brzeski plus 230. If somehow Mick Parkin loses this fight, I'll be pretty surprised because Brzeski's not that good. Over 2.5 minus 180. Parkin on the cards. Plus 125. Mick Parkin's a parlay piece, probably.
I will look at it, folks. I did place a couple of bets already, but I think I got a couple more to place. So I'll let you guys know on Friday.
Let's go. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we got Colin Loughran versus Jake Hadley. Hadley stepping in on short notice, replacing Ramon Tavares. I think Colin Loughran's going to win. I call him the dwarf Brock Lesnar, the Irish dwarf Brock Lesnar for the win. Listen, Loughran hits hard. He's very physically strong. He's got some solid wrestling.
You got Brock Lesnar right here in chat, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, Brick Laser. Yeah.
That's the real Brock
I think that Loughran's winning this thing, man. I see Jake Hadley as a decent guy at flyweight. His skill set's not bad, but this is up at 135. He's coming in against Loughran, who's going to be pretty strong, has some power. And the thing is, if Hadley gets hit with a big shot, he's not going to have the grappling option here because I don't see him controlling Loughran in grappling positions. Whereas Hadley last time against Charles Johnson, he got badly dropped, but he had the grappling advantage there. He was able to hold on. I'm going with Loughran to get it done.
How is Jake Hadley going to come up on short notice, up a weight class, and, you know, deal with a guy who's one of the stronger, one of the stronger bantamweights in the world? I don't see it. Like Hadley's a little bit better. He's a better striker. He's a good mixed martial artist, but with the strength differential, the short notice thing, him coming up a weight class, like, you're giving too much away to Loughran to make me pick you, Hadley. So, I do think if you run this fight 10 times, Hadley does put some strikes on him and finds a way. But like, as far as a bet goes, we're going to go with the guy who can control where the fight takes place. We're going to go with the bigger man, the stronger man, the one who's been preparing for this date. Give me Loughran decision.
Loughran currently is a minus 200 favorite. Hadley's a plus 170 underdog. And then Loughran to win a decision sits at minus 115. If he does get a KO, it's plus 425. Loughran is relatively good with that ground and pound. I can see him getting a stoppage on the ground. 4 fights before he got into the UFC at all knockouts. I think the finishing ability is there, but Hadley has been tough to put away. So I definitely think a decision is possible. But I like Loughran's chances here. I'm going to ride with him. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, man. I think that it's the differential of strength is going to be apparent in this one. Jake Hadley's really got to make something happen, and I wouldn't bet on that.
Let's go. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on it, Molly Meatballs McCann versus Bruna Brasil. I'm going with Molly McCann. I think that Bruna Brasil struggles with girls who are going to put pressure on her, who make her uncomfortable, and especially force her to box, right? Brasil does really well at fighting more so a sparring pace, right? Striking from distance, mixing it up, moving on the outside, using her range. She's a very technically sound fighter. Molly McCann is going to have a big power advantage here, and I also think she has the physicality edge. McCann's been fighting her whole career at the wrong weight class, 125, dropping to 115. You see her with the six-pack. I think she's going to have a power advantage over Bruna Brasil. I think she can hurt her in this fight. I'm actually going to go Molly McCann to find the chin. I think she can get a knockout here. In the boxing range, Molly McCann is very dangerous, and I think that she sleeps Bruna Brasil.
Molly McCann is a bad matchup for Bruna Brasil. I mean, you really want a fighter who can reliably take Molly McCann down. I don't think Bruna Brasil is that customer. Bruna Brasil has that pitter-patter style where she'll kickbox you to a decision. Molly McCann spins. She puts her hips into shots. You know, she's the stronger of the two girls. She's the one who hits harder. You got to think this is kind of teed up for Molly McCann. So the same way I said that they gave Mick Parkin a matchup for the fans, I think they did the same favor to Molly McCann. Give me Molly Meatball. And I agree, she could get a finish in this one, man. Now, betting on the finish is interesting. I don't know that you do that. I'm going to have to dig in a little deeper and see. But, you know, Molly McCann's the obvious pick.
She's a minus 350 favorite right now with Brasil at plus 285. McCann by KO is plus 250. So if you think she can knock her out, you get big plus money. But I do think McCann, parlayable. I see her as a better striker. Even though Brasil, if you watch them hit the bag, you would say, wow, Brazil's kicks are snappy. Wow. But in the actual fight, I think McCann's pressure makes Brasil very uncomfortable.
It's a good point. Brasil could try to keep range, right? Try to move left, try to move right, do a little bit of a Rose Namajunas, add the kicks in there. I mean, there is a pathway to be able to move around a Molly McCann, who's a bit of a, you know, she swings like she's got a mace in her hands, you know, clash of styles for sure. But, you know, if the judges are going to be biased for somebody, you know who it is.
Yeah, agreed. Molly Meatballs to get it done. I think she can get the stoppage too, man. I'm excited for this fight. I like Molly McCann at 115 a lot. I'll definitely say I'm a fan. And I think Bruna Brasil is a matchup that falls into the style of Molly Meatballs. It's a weird comparison, but there is somewhat of a comparison, right, with Luana Carolina, who's a longer girl. I think Carolina is actually a harder matchup than Bruna Brasil is. So I think Molly Meatballs gets it done.
I think so too. Hey, if any of you guys see Molly Meatball, can you tell her to give Mike Finch his microphone back? I think she brought it back to Ireland, so let her know.
Let's go. Let's keep running. Finch, man, they're going to flack you if I don't say it. Ireland, man, she's Irish now? Molly
Oh,
Meatball,
shit.
Man.
Oh, what am I
Scalza,
saying? What am I saying? She's with fucking Patty the Batty. What am I saying?
Yeah, that's funny.
Wow, I'm thinking Team Conor McGregor. You know, she's with Leah McCourt.
Yeah, the OGs.
That's-
She robbed you, bro. Mike Finch got robbed by Molly McCann.
She was drunk. I interviewed her drunk, and I clipped the little microphone on. Gone. Okay. And I had a wristband to go to the nightclub afterwards. But what am I gonna do? Go to the nightclub to go hunt down drunk Molly McCann?
Nah.
She still got it. So let her know I'm waiting, and she could send it to UFC Jim Rosemead.
Let's go. Next fight on the card, we have Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. I'm going with Nathaniel Wood to win, but Daniel Pineda is a dog, man. Even last time, I mean, he won the second round against Alex Caceres. He's a good wrestler. He's strong on the ground, but he's also a little reckless. You know, I do think he's in the twilight of his career. You know, throws these looping overhands from out of range a lot, and I think there's a lot of availabilities for counters. The thing with Nathaniel Wood is he's yet to find the finish inside of the UFC. He's, you know, not a knockout artist. Actually, now I got to double check. Did he find the finish? I know at 145 pounds, Nathaniel Wood's yet to find the finish. And looking at his entire UFC career, yeah, he does have three submissions in his first three UFC fights, but the level of competition on the lower side, as it stepped up a bit, I think Nathaniel Wood fights smart, high fight IQ, picks his shots well, relatively good in the grappling. And you know what? I think he's owed one after the Muhammad Naimov fight where he was fouled a lot in that fight and ended up losing a decision in a matchup that was pretty controversial, man. The refereeing was pretty abysmal there. I think Nathaniel Wood can get a decision over Pineda. I know we've seen Pineda rocked a few times before, but usually pretty durable. And Nathaniel Wood, not known for big power, but he does pick shots well. I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood to get it on the cards.
Nathaniel Wood should dominate this fight, man. I mean, the quality of the wins is really wide between these two. And by the way, Pineda's fought everybody. He's got fucking 40, 50 pro fights. Nathaniel Wood's got wins over Andre Fili, and I mean, I might as well go through it. Andre Fili, Charles Jourdain, Charles Hossa, I mean, he's fought good competition, even John Dodson going back to, 2020, Andre Ewell. I mean, he's fought better competition and he's won. He beat Charles Hossa. He beat Charles Jourdain. He beat Andre Fili. He beat Alex Caceres in a grappling match. And you guys saw Daniel Pineda lose to him in MMA. I think Nathaniel Wood should be able to dominate this fight. Am
I frozen or is the Finch frozen?
Was I out? I was frozen.
I think you're out.
Are we having a rough fucking
We're having a weird one. Listen, I got to make some quick shouts. We got Bright Boxer with the 279. Love you guys. Wish you both good health. Thank you, man. Pick'em MMA. Smash the likes. Let's fucking go. Finchman and AJ. Thank you, Pick'em. And shout out Jersey Girl in the chat. Listen, Jersey Girl. I don't like the nightclubs anymore. All right? I don't like the nightclubs anymore. Shout out to her. Much love to her. Love you.
Boom. Did you guys hear what I said?
No.
I said Nathaniel Wood, and Nathaniel Wood should dominate the fight. Unfortunately, Vegas has recognized that.
They recognized it more than recognized it. Finch, I don't want to make this about politics, but official word is Joe Biden's in hospice care online. I'm seeing it on Twitter right now.
Stop. No.
I love Twitter and I'm telling you.
It's fake. It's fake.
All right. Well, let me read the odds off as you look it up. -410, Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda, +310. Wood is the relatively large favorite. I think we go over a round and a half, though, at -160. Maybe that's a decent play because Pineda's got a good chin.
Yo, I'm looking. You just said the president's dying, so you fucking you want to talk about the chin of Pineda? No, he's not. It is fake. Fake news.
No, I don't know. I'm seeing it all over Twitter right now.
I was supposed to
unverified rumor is what I'm hearing. I guess
would have been tremendous, but
that's crazy.
Sleepy Joe is sleepy. Why aren't I doing? I'm not doing a good Trump today. I know Joe's good, okay, because the White House put out the doctor's statement today saying he's recovering and he's got mild cold level symptoms. They didn't quite say that, but that's essentially what it looked like. He's fine. He's in Delaware, chilling like a villain, and people are going, Joe, you're too fucking gone for this. I see people use the word old and it's true, but Bernie Sanders is older than Joe Biden. He's sharp as fuck. Warren Buffett's older than both of them. He leads a 3-hour, shareholders meeting every year for Berkshire Hathaway, and he's extremely sharp. So it's not, age is not quite it. It's close. It's really cognitive function. Joe, I saw it back years ago when Joe Biden went to Ireland. I think it was St. Patrick's Day. He came back and they had some White House event and some little kid goes, "What's the last country you visited, Mr. President?" And he goes, "Oh," he's like, where was the last place I went? I can't quite think. I'm yelling at my TV. I'm like, Joe, you were in Ireland. I just saw you in Ireland. So I've seen this coming for years. And anybody who tried to tell you folks that Joe Biden, he's okay, behind closed doors, he's as sharp as a tack, they're lying to you. They were lying to you. And so I think you should question trusting that source again. Good for the 30-odd Democrats who actually told Joe to step down and get out of the race. It just should have happened earlier. And I should say before the political rant is over, AJ made this happen. Sorry, the viewers are gonna go like this. The last thing I'll say is good on Joe for stepping down. Good on Joe. Like respect to him for stepping down. it just, it's a little late, Joe. We got 4 weeks to figure out who the nominee is going to be for the Democratic Party. Like, dog, you could have handled this earlier, So that's my 2 cents. Joe's alive. AJ, he's alive. He's good.
What about RFK running as a Democrat? Bring him back in.
RFK is my guy. I love RFK Jr. RFK Jr. is the man.
He's
Here's my question to you then.
Yeah.
You think they're going to let RFK Jr. get the DNC nomination? You think the corrupt DNC, the one who boxed out Bernie Sanders, the one who boxed out RFK Jr., who reset the rules so that RFK couldn't possibly compete, you think that DNC is going to now have a change of heart and let some of these guys in who don't quite share their narrow, moderate Democrat views? No, I don't think so. I think it's Kamala Harris, and she's going to pick a lame vice presidential candidate. That's what I expect. What would I like to see? RFK Jr., dog. Come on.
Yeah, I guess they don't want a chance of getting a dub because RFK is a tough fight for Trump because I think that'd be interesting.
RFK is the man. And Trump called RFK after he got shot. I mean, they're cordial. Yeah. RFK is he's a guy who talks about issues I care about, housing prices, fentanyl, the things that are relevant and matter. We can't go too far into politics here, but you guys could tell I've been deep this election season. I go into politics all the time though. Off camera, me and AJ,
we do.
We do.
We could have a political show, honestly, man.
Should we?
We should. Should we do it the middle ground, we'll call it, bro?
The middle ground? I don't know. Am I in the middle ground? I'm an independent. I'm a registered independent. So maybe I am the middle ground.
Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, our featured prelim of the night, Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape. I am picking Manel Kape here. No, I'm fucking around. I'm picking Muhammad Mokaev. I'm in a mood today to fuck around. Listen, Manel Kape does have a path to victory, though. If Mokaev is tired in the 3rd round, Manel Kape could sting him with some big shots, and he does have the power to put away a lot of guys at flyweight. But I just don't think that Muhammad Mokaev is a guy that he puts away. Mokaev is a very good wrestler, and I think that there has been a bit of a stock drop on him following his performance against Alex Perez, who is a really good wrestler too. And Alex Perez in the 1st round did well against Tatsuro Taira before Taira whipped him to the ground and tore his knee up, which was a badass technique. And, we definitely deserve, some praise on it. But Mokaev was out wrestling Perez, who has better takedown defense than Manel Kape. I think Mokaev is going to be wrestling a lot in this fight. I think Mokaev is going to get in on the legs consistently. He's too fast with his shot. Even if he doesn't get Kape down, there's cage pressure. He's going to work from there. He's going to control the backside position. He's going to garner a lot of control time, winning the rounds. I do think he'll eventually get Kape down, control him from top position. And I think on the judges' scorecards, he's most likely going to get a 30-27. As good as Manel Kape's striking is, as slick as he is, as impressive as Kape is, I have to favor Muhammad Mokaev to get in on the legs and give Kape trouble with the offensive wrestling. So I am going to go with Muhammad Mokaev, the better wrestler. The chain wrestling, he can wrestle all night long. And I don't think Manel Kape can defend takedowns all night long. So we're going Mokaev.
AJ busted out with the fucking tunes. Okay. All right. We lose today. I like it. Manel Kape star boy. He's a motherfucking star boy. I think that Manel Kape could get this thing, man. Look, Muhammad Mokaev, it's all about the takedown. Because can you admit this thing for me? Muhammad Mokaev on the feet, he's a sitting duck against Manel Kape. Manel Kape could tear him apart on the feet. But if he's panic shooting, I don't know. It's a good fight, man. Really good fight. Manel Kape versus Muhammad Mokaev is the most competitive fight on this card. I do think this is pretty sick. We haven't seen an active Manel Kape. I think that's an issue. Muhammad Mokaev, I believe, has been more active. Manel Kape, I think, fought once in 2023, once in 2022. His striking is a lot better, and Mokaev's wrestling is a lot better. It's all about the takedown. I see why you're going Muhammad Mokaev. Yeah, I guess I will too. Muhammad Mokaev has just fought in the UK so much. It's like that's his spot. That's his second home. So he should feel comfortable there. But Manel Kape by KO is very interesting and something to marinate on. If you guys are picking Manel Kape, I'm definitely not telling you not to. It's all about the takedowns.
It's all about the takedowns, man. And relatively solid takedown defense for Kape. But I'll tell you, Manel Kape last time out was underwhelming against Felipe Dos Santos, who really was not that good. Like Felipe Dos Santos is okay, but he got pretty, close, maybe even controversial decision in the following fight against a Victor Altamiriano. Now, I know Kape looked great against David Dvorak, but David Dvorak got destroyed by Steve Erceg. He beat Zhalgas Zhumagulov, but Zhumagulov is no longer with the promotion. He beat Ode Osborne, who's a back-end guy in the flyweight division. When you really break down the 4-fight win streak from Manel Kape, I think it's rather unimpressive. Muhammad Mokaev beating Alex Perez is super impressive. Muhammad beating Tim Elliott is impressive as well. Jafiel Filho nearly snaps the knee up. Mokaev made a steal, doesn't tap. Beating a Charles Johnson is also a badass win. I think if you look at, relative competition, Mokaev's been fighting some pretty damn good fighters. And I think that even though he has less experience as a pro, and obviously Manel Kape was a savage over in Risen, I think he's getting his hand raised.
I just don't see how Mokaev loses, says Baby Sharp MMA. Dog. Knockout. Like Manel Kape can crack. His striking is not a little bit better. I see a lot of holes in Muhammad Mokaev's striking, and so I just look at this as striker versus grappler. That's the way I see it. Not that Muhammad Mokaev can't strike, and not that Manel Kape can't grapple, but real specialists, right? And Manel Kape really started making a name for himself, man. He's on stage. Didn't he have the sunglasses on? He's talking all that shit. Him and Israel Adesanya almost fought. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's ready for some bigger fights, and this feels like a catapult. And so if he gets a knockout over Muhammad Mokaev, you got to think he sees this as his career on the line. So I think you're going to see a Manel Kape who's hunting, and this is going to be a good one.
Culture Combat MMA, Justin, thank you for 199. I didn't pick yet, but Kape KO, then Askura trilogy, that'd be crazy. I think Kape with a win definitely wants a title shot, though. But the Askura fight isn't going to be too far away with his debut looming, and potentially rumors are he might be fighting Pantoja for the belt.
I mean, the division's not that deep, so you could see that happening, right? You could see him getting a title shot pretty quick. It's all about the performance, right? Again, if Manel Kape scores a knockout, that's how you do it around here.
Yeah, Manel Kape by a knockout would be badass. And listen, if he does get a knockout, I feel like it would be in the third round. Kape by KO in round number 3 is something I'll read off. It's plus 1,800. And then Mokaev to win, minus 135. Down the money line. My official pick, Mokaev decision, plus 160. I think the wrestling's a big difference maker. As good as Kape is, I think that Mokaev is going to get in on the takedowns, man. And we'll see Kape on his butt. Kape pressed against the cage.
Yeah, that would be smart for Mokaev, right? If Mokaev could put more pressure on him and maybe catch a kick, run him into the fence, Verna Jandaroba, folks, run them into the fence and then start wrestling there. That would be better than just trying to catch takedowns out in the center of the cage. It is the big cage, which is another reason why I'm concerned about that Kape KO. Fun fight, man. I'm more so thinking this is a tough one to bet on. I see some of you guys don't, but where did our boy said something? I'm trying to find him now. It's gone. Damn, you guys are commenting a lot. Where'd it go? Paku said something, but whatever. Paku thinks Kape KO, or Muhammad Mokaev. Sorry, Muhammad Mokaev dominates him. Lock of the card. He said, I don't know, man. I think this is a really cool fight.
Let's go. Good call. for both of us going Mokaev. Let's see. Let's jump to our main card. If you guys haven't yet, smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze to start things off, man. Really good fight.
Let's go.
Arnold Allen is the prediction, and I do think he should win. I think the pressure is going to give Giga Chikadze problems, and even the potential for wrestling here is going to be an issue with Giga. But I don't doubt Arnold Allen's stand-up against Chikadze. Chikadze is a very good kickboxer, and he's got snapping body kicks. The dude's a nightmare matchup for a lot of guys, but Arnold Allen is very difficult for a Giga Chikadze at this point. Chikadze also, in the later stage of his career where Arnold Allen is peaking right now, and his last two fights are against savages. Movsar of Loyev, right? Badass fighter who Arnold Allen gave a lot of trouble to. Max Holloway, the BMF champion, Arnold Allen did fairly well with. I think Arnold Allen's winning this decision, man. Last time out, Giga Chikadze fought against Bruce Leroy, and he won a decision, and, he did fairly well, but he had Bruce Leroy walking him down. That's not something that I love to see. Now, I don't think that Chikadze is necessarily far out of his prime, but I just think that a primed guy like Arnold Allen, who's 30 right now, I feel like he's surging on his way up, and I do think Arnold Allen is still top 7 material at worst. And if you look at Arnold Allen's fights as of recent, right, being, high-level guys like Movsar Evloev and Max Holloway, they're in, a relatively short time span, a year and 3 months ago for Holloway and then 6 months ago for Evloev. Looking at Chikadze, it was 10 months ago against Caceres. Before that, it was 2.5 years. So Giga Chikadze had a pretty long layoff leading up to the Alex Caceres fight, which argument could be made. There was some ring rust there, and he could come in sharper here against Arnold Allen. And there is a pathway to victory with Chikadze with body kicks, especially Arnold Allen out of southpaw. I could see Chikadze landing that rear leg body kick pretty clean. Also with Allen, kind of a very low square stance. I'm still going to pick Allen to win, though. I do think he gets a decision.
Love this fight. Yo, y'all are saying that Giga Chikadze's old. He's 35. He's 35. That's old?
35 and 11 months. Not old, but right? If you look at below 170
35
pounds,
and 11 months.
but the curse,
36,
right? The
37. Curse. I mean, at 38, yeah, but 35. I think you could consider 35 a prime. Is he's past his prime at 35? I don't see that. I really don't.
In title fights, speaking wise on statistics, I'd say yes. Doesn't mean he can't win ranked fights, doesn't mean he can't do well, but being past 35 is usually a losing factor for title fights below welterweight.
Yo, what does that got to do with this, Dylan? Why am I coming into this? You think I'm offended because I'm old? What are you talking about, bro? Listen, man, this is a good fight. My initial pick, I thought, oh, shit, he's going to fight another striker. And King's MMA is it been able to focus on him, man. They have not had, they were stuck with wrong way to say it. They were blessed with fighters from different weight classes. They were getting a heavyweight Fabricio Verdum ready. They were getting 185 Kelvin Gastelum ready. They were getting, 145 Giga Chikadze ready. I mean, they're, and all these different camps have different sparring partners. And now it's really just Giga. Like the focus there, they've been able to really focus on Giga. And he actually came last year to UFC Jim Huntington Beach, and he was saying, hey, I want more guys to wrestle with. And they did bring that in, so he's been putting in wrestling time. I've had the pleasure of grappling with Giga Chikadze. He's a fucking awesome dude. He taught me how to throw the Giga kick. So I'm a little biased for Giga. I'll give that out right away. Arnold Allen should try to take him down. And so my initial thought was, shit, Giga can slam a kick in there. Then I started looking, Arnold Allen is southpaw. It does take, the body kicks there, but it'll change things a little bit for Giga. And then Arnold Allen was saying, we've seen the holes in Giga's game and, this and that. So I feel like Arnold Allen is going to shoot, but does that mean he gets the takedown? Like, is Arnold Allen the type of guy to dominate people on the ground? I think Giga Chikadze, you guys are saying he has a low output. but are dudes hitting him? Like, the more you swing at him, the more he swings back at you. Giga Chikadze is a solid counterpuncher. He puts on good pressure. You guys remember when he fucked up Edson Barbosa? You guys remember that? He could put pressure on you and whoop some ass. Fuck it. I'm going Giga Chikadze. He's dog money. That's interesting to me. I don't see if you put him against a wrestler, different conversation. Can Arnold Allen take him down? Questionable. Can Arnold Allen strike with him? Highly questionable. Giga hits a lot harder. You're seeing the biggest difference here is Giga kicks people's souls away. I don't even believe in souls, but Giga kicks your soul out. Like the movies where it flies away. Giga is he's got a baseball bat connected to him, okay? He whips that shin in there like he's doing a grand slam. Sammy Sosa on steroids with a cork bat. Where are my Cubs fans at? I just showed my age there. Me and old ass Giga Chikadze are going for a Giga body kick KO.
I mean, it's definitely possible when Giga's across from anybody in the striking, but I see Allen as the quicker striker. I think Allen can touch him up on the feet too, man. I don't think this is a washout strike. I think Allen's good to strike with Giga, man.
Allen's tremendous. I was a big Allen fan, even leading into the the Holloway fight, even the Evloev fight. I mean, I am a fan of his, and it's a winnable fight for him. Obviously, the best thing he could do is make it an MMA fight, and so it was good to see here Allen is has identified the problem that Giga had with Calvin Kattar and is going to try and make this a mixed martial arts fight. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see Allen win. I don't know. Backing my fucking boy. All right. I'm backing my boy. Now, trust me, folks, when I make my bets, I will remove the bias. Okay. I'll remove the bias. I'm not currently planning on betting on this fight. But I'll look deeper into it, and I think AJ, can you admit Giga is much more live for a knockout than Allen is? Giga kicks harder than anybody in the division.
I think fair, but I just don't see him getting it on this version of Allen, man. I think Allen's pretty good. I like Arnold Allen. I think Giga, is solid too. He's nice. I just don't think Giga's a title challenger type material where Allen's right there. 2 fights against 2 of the best guys at featherweight in Movzar and Max Holloway back-to-back, and good performances and loss in each of them. I assume that Allen's better now because it's not like he took a lot of damage either.
Giga is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-1 in the UFC. Only 35 years old. He's in his prime. Just taking a shot at you. And I feel like Max Holloway boxed the fucking face off of Arnold Allen. I keep hearing people say that. He looked so good against Max Holloway. Did he? I remember him getting fucked up by Max Holloway. Did we not watch the same? But am I tripping?
I mean, maybe it's because he did better than expected, right?
He got shut out 5-0, right?
I don't know the scorecard on my face. Hold on, let me find it real quick.
In my head, he got shut out 5-0 and fucking dog walked by Max Holloway. But you're not the first person I've heard say that. He looked good against Max Holloway. I'm like, really?
My God, Tabology doesn't show us the scorecard. Hold on. I do remember him landing well in the first 2 rounds.
Paku says 4-1.
Yeah, 49-46, 49-46, 48-47. Right. So 4-1 for the most part.
My bad. And Max Holloway's pretty fucking good. Totally different style, guys. You can break striking down into zones. Giga Chikadze lives in the green zone. He likes to fight from that nice range. It's going to be an interesting one. I would not be shocked to see Giga get the KO, folks. Some people were betting on Allen. Are you guys pissed? Sorry.
Minus 240 for Allen right now. Chikadze plus 205, really wide odds.
If you can reliably take Giga Chikadze down, we're having a different conversation. I don't give that to Arnold Allen just yet. I have been impressed with Arnold Allen. Not trying to hate on the guy. He's very good.
Let's go. The over is minus 240. Allen decision minus 110. And Finch, if you do like the knockout, it's plus 575 for Chikadze.
Woo! Might be worth a little $10, fucking around.
Let's see. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we have Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. This is a tricky one, man. I went with RoboCop as the prediction yesterday. And it's really a tale of does he get caught or not? That's what it comes down to, because Duncan's fast. He's got power. But when you look at Duncan's wins, right, the last two, it's Dennis Tululin and Claudio Ribeiro. Definitely not Gregory Rodriguez level. RoboCop coming off of the Brad Tavares knockout. RoboCop hits really hard, but where the advantage lies against Leroy Duncan is going to be in the grappling. Clear grappling advantage for RoboCop, and I do expect him to mix in some takedowns, and I actually think he could be live to win by submission here against Leroy Duncan. I think since the Bruno Ferreira knockout, there has been a slight growth in the fight IQ of Gregory Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez recognizes, yes, Leroy Duncan from the outside is a maestro. He has tremendous striking skill, but in the close range, Rodriguez is dangerous with his hands, and on the ground, Rodriguez has clearly better Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So I am going to ride with RoboCop to win. I think you can find a sub, man.
Yeah, I could see RoboCop submitting him. I could see RoboCop grinding him out, ground and pound. The Claudio Ribeiro win's nice. Dennis Tululin's nice, but this is a much different type of opponent because Gregory Rodriguez is not just dangerous on the feet. He's got that jiu-jitsu black belt. He is a specimen. My man is big and heavy. I mean, when he gets to the top position, he is a smashing machine. He's one of the biggest middleweights I've ever seen. So I think Christian Leroy Duncan will have his hands full. It's a good fight, but I'll go RoboCop decision.
Yeah, RoboCop to win. He's actually a decent size underdog. RoboCop's plus 123 right now, with Leroy Duncan as a minus 143 favorite. Over 1.5 is minus 135 because you're playing with fire with that over. I could definitely see it going longer though. Yeah. Rodriguez by decision plus 400. Rodriguez by submission plus 625. Why is submission that high? RoboCop's jiu-jitsu's there. I know he's more so known for the knockout, but he's got good jits. I got to go with RoboCop as the Finchman is. What do you think of the odds? Is an underdog RoboCop? You think it's something you're going to consider throwing down on? Is he a
dog?
Yeah. Plus 123.
Huh. I didn't expect that. Huh. Damn. I don't know. I didn't expect. I thought he'd be the favorite. Yeah, I guess Leroy Duncan's 10-1. Okay. I don't know. Do you trust RoboCop? Every time I think of RoboCop, I think of that freaking female, sexual organ he had on his forehead there. I'm trying to be modest.
Yeah.
Remember that cut? Oh my.
Yeah, that cut was fucking brutal.
Oh my goodness. So, like, when you bet on people with that much scar tissue, just shit to think about. It's a good fight for sure. I don't know, man. This has like become my early leans show at this point. Like, you do your early leans. I hear you say that. Early leans. This is like my new early leans show because now all week I got to research all these fights more and decide what I'm going to do. I told you guys I bet on 3 fights already. This wasn't one of them.
All right. Listen, RoboCop the pick for us both. And let's see if it holds up, man. Maybe after weigh-ins, there's a shift in either one of us. But for now, we're Team RoboCop for the win. Let's go. Let's keep on running up the card. Next fight is our featured bout of the night. We got Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. Paddy the baddie.
Oh, Paddy the fatty.
Okay. So
gets lit for Paddy. I know it's fucking what time do they got these guys fighting at? It's like 5 a.m.
It's gonna be late. It's gonna be
what
late.
What are they doing to these guys? Yo, I love the UFC, but can we get these guys a fucking normal start time? Like, they're like, no, Mike Finch, there are millions of dollars to be made on American pay-per-view buys. Yeah. Okay,
that's what it's all about. I'm picking Paddy Pimblett to win this fight against Bobby Green. I think Paddy Pimblett clubs and subs Bobby Green, actually. Pimblett's hands are pretty quick, and I do think he has knockout power, and I think we look at him at his worst performances rather than the evolution that is slowly starting to happen for Paddy Pimblett. Now, Bobby Green has good striking. He's a solid boxer, but but he does have that hands-low style, which I don't love here, especially Green getting brutally knocked out 2 fights ago by Jalen Turner. He got dropped by Tony Ferguson. We've seen Bobby Green in trouble numerous times, and Paddy Pimblett is going to have the jiu-jitsu advantage in the fight. And I also think he's got a little bit of speed on Bobby Green. Now, Bobby Green's good with his boxing for sure, but I don't love the hands low in this matchup because I feel like Paddy Pimblett does manage distance well, and he also covers ground well. He can kind of explode inside with a fast 1-2, and I can see him catching Bobby Green. And I'll be honest, in the battle of the chins, I think Paddy Pimblett takes a better punch than Bobby Green does. So if they end up in a fucking dick measuring contest on the feet, I see Pimblett knocking him out. They're knocking him down, at least. I think club and
You
sub.
think Pimblett wins the dick measuring competition?
Listen, man, as far as in fighting goes, now we're getting into the fucking a different aspect. Jeez, I don't know. Listen, bro.
And have you been calling him Bobby? Who is this Bobby? Do you guys know
Bobby Green? Oh, not King Green. Sorry, King Green.
Oh, you're talking
Bobby
about
King.
King Green. Okay,
Bobby
gotcha.
King. Bro,
Sorry,
he's
I
still
didn't know.
Bobby Green on Tapology. Until they change it, it's Bobby Green. What am I supposed to do?
Did he legally change it?
They said that. I don't know. We'll see if they announce it as King Green.
Like his driver's license says King Green.
I think so.
King Green sounds like a disease. King Green,
Green's like
oh
gangrene,
man,
yeah.
his feet are fucked up. He's got that King Green, bro.
That's trouble. Yeah, like a fungus, man. Nah, I think Pimblett's got him.
Yeah, Paddy Pimblett's a lot better on the ground. That's a problem. Paddy's a lot bigger. That's a problem. I kind of agree Paddy's got a better chin, but like, are we sure who's really hit Paddy? Who's Paddy really fought though? You know, what, Jared Gordon?
Tony Ferguson didn't drop him, but he dropped Green.
You're telling me Giga Chikadze's out of his prime? You're going to hit me with the Tony Ferguson?
I'm just using a comparison. Did Tony Ferguson drop Bobby Green? Yes. He didn't drop Paddy. Paddy dropped him.
All right.
We lack the evidence, so there's the only evidence we got.
Okay, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, AJ. I feel like, how about this? There are so many miles on King Green.
Yeah.
That you could make that argument, right? That the miles, I think that might be what you're saying.
He's taking a lot of hits, man.
He's taking a lot of hits.
Put out. Yeah.
Do you remember the tall tarantula?
Yeah. Turner was brutal.
Oh my goodness,
Jesus.
that late stoppage. Oh, that was so brutal. So that's fair. That's fair. I think Paddy Pimblett's going to have a lot of trouble getting underneath past the hands of Bobby Green. I've seen everybody picking Paddy Pimblett. Maybe the odds even go wider for Paddy as we close in. I think Bobby Green is going to be able to box up a Paddy Pimblett. He keeps his hands low. It's going to be hard to get to him for a clinch. Paddy is a lot bigger. Paddy's going to try to drag him onto the ground to take his back. But, I mean, who really does that to him? What, Islam Mokaev? Like, you know. I think I can give him a pass on the Islam fight. So give me King Green early lean.
I respect the King Green early lean. I don't know, though. The size difference isn't really a thing either, though, Finch. They're both listed at 5'10", but I know what you're saying. It seems like Pimblett's taller, though.
Bro.
I don't think Bobby Green's 5'10".
Pimblett is a big 55er. He strikes me that way anyway, especially now, right? I'm saying he's put on muscle.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm a UFC fighter. I gotta get in the fucking. He's getting closer to AJ. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you guys
he called me actually. I got him on a workout plan.
You got him on the workout, the workout plan.
The
What you got him
plan.
on, dog?
I got him on the Brazilian secret juices I got from Paulo Costa's uncle.
You saw Paulo Costa came out with the actual drink, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Paulo
I gotta
Costa
buy
put
some
the secret juice out, and you know, just so all of you know, I know the secret. I've known the secret. Okay.
Yeah.
Patricky Pitbull told me the secret. Secret juice is iced tea.
You know what? That kills it, man. You just killed it. You just killed the fun. Why'd you do that to everybody?
Fucking iced tea. He's like, can I try it? And then Paulo's like, okay. He sips it. I'm like, what is it? He's like, iced tea. I'm like,
that's funny, man.
Son of a bitch. All this time, and it was iced tea.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're going with King Green, but is King Green a bet for you, Finch? Do you bet him against Paddy the Batty?
Folks, I'm going to drop all my bets on Friday. If you want to know him, the link is in my description on my channel. I got to, you know, when you're placing bets, you have to start deciding based on other bets you place where you're going, right? So I'm going to make those official after weigh-ins. Like I said, when I saw Miranda Maverick weigh in, I was like, holy shit, she's way smaller. That shit matters, right? We can give a bunch of examples where weigh-ins matter. You said you got the inside info about the knee on Mo Usman. Brother, do you know anybody else who knows as many fucking fighters as me? Like, I try to get that shit too, you know? I try to get that inside info too. I remember hearing from, you know, a Bellator fighter, a Bellator champion. I'll just say his name. Fuck it. Johnny Eblin told me about what sparring Bo Nickel was like. I get some inside info, so it's better for me to actually say what I'm betting on Friday. It just makes more sense because that's what I normally do anyway. And that's when I'll decide. But dude, the odds are nice. I mean, did you expect this thing to be even? I thought Bobby Green would be a favorite. So, and it looks wider. I haven't heard anybody else pick Bobby Green. Everybody's been on Paddy Pimblett. So I am considering it.
-115 Green, Paddy -105. Personally, I'm picking Paddy the Baddy, but I don't know if I'm necessarily feeling the Paddy Pimblett bet being laid down, you know?
Keep it down the feds. I'm not insider trading. That's not insider trading. I'm not insider trading.
That's funny as hell.
What the fuck do I? They're gonna get in a fist fight. What do I don't work for the UFC. What do I got to do with this shit? That's not insider trading. I'm not Pelosi. Insider trading is like, you know, they know that they're all going to sponsor a bill for EVs. And so you start buying, you know, Tesla stock. That's insider trading, right? Before the public knows. I mean, you know, what am I supposed to do? Should close my ears? I don't know.
Early lean and a half over here. Holy shit. Tricky early lean. Early lean Corey, but definitely got to sit on that. You'll find out next Sunday. I haven't studied it. Corey Sanhagen
versus Umar Nurmagomedov is going down. Oh shit!
Next weekend.
Oh shit! I've just been waiting for this This pay-per-view is the end of the world for me. Okay, I don't know anything past this fucking. I love this pay-per-view. Early lean. Damn, you did give us $10, Wise. I think I got to give it to you. You're hitting me. This is on the spot. Okay. Umar Nurmagomedov's good, man. Corey's a better striker, obviously. The flying knee's real. But he's mixed it up. Fuck, it's a good fight. Early lean Umar Nurmagomedov, but that's a good one. That's a good one, Wise.
Listen, we're going with early lean Corey. I don't know. We'll see what happens though. Thank you for the $9.99, Wise. We'll go Corey, but we're thinking about it. Listen, good fight right here. Paddy Pimblett. The pick for me, Finchman on Bobby Knuckles. No, Bobby Green, excuse me. King Green. I don't even know what name I'm saying for him now. I don't know what to call him anymore.
Why is look at Drew Dober over here? Has everybody lost their mind?
Yeah, Drew Dober has.
Paddy's gonna fight. He doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that.
Let's see.
Let's
get to it, bro. We got 2 fights to go. Co-main event. We got Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes.
Chicago in the house. Come on.
Are you picking Curtis Blaydes? Is that what you're telling me, Finch? I'm picking Tom Aspinall. You already know.
I put him in a rap before. I'm just coming up with this. I'm just remembering this right now. Something. Stay for days. Rain some fucking elbows on your face like Curtis Razor Blades. You know, because he did that.
That is nice. Yeah.
Boom. He gave him the elbows.
That was brutal.
Curtis fucking Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes has been on this show. So don't you be picking Tom Aspinall.
I picked him already. You know I'm picking Aspinall.
I'm just kidding. You wanted my pick, you're going to get it. Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's the best heavyweight in the world right now. He risks one thing. Tom Aspinall has a bum knee. They don't want to talk about it. We got to see it live. I've heard behind the scenes it's a problem in the training room. He's got a bum knee. With that being said, he's the best fucking heavyweight in the world. I mean, if he's got some knee pain, he's still going to fucking throw down. But and he's light on his feet, right? He doesn't move like a guy with a bum knee. He's on the balls of his feet. He's moving like I could say a light heavyweight less, dude. He moves like he's 185 pounds. Right? I mean, isn't he just incredible to watch? His jiu-jitsu's much better. His striking's much better. I know that
we missed the dome. I got to bring him up. Sorry, I live in the projects. 360 win. I respect. Thank you, Thoth Mark. Sorry we didn't bring you up. We didn't see it.
Thank you, Thoth. Thank you, Thoth. Sorry about that. We're just over here having fun. Tom Aspinall wins this fight. Tom Aspinall has the 2 out of 3, the striking and the jiu-jitsu. Now, Curtis Blaydes can score takedowns, but I believe Tom Aspinall's dad's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's been training since he was a little kid in jiu-jitsu. I believe he can at least slow a Curtis Blaydes down if he ends up getting taken down, starts losing a round. Really, the problem for Tom Aspinall is how healthy is he, and if he's healthy, he's good to go. One thing to mention about Leon and Tom Aspinall and everybody on this card's happening in a bizarre time. So you would think they would have an extra advantage being in their side of the earth, right? Curtis is flying out from Colorado. He's originally from Chicago, for the Chicago reference. Me too. He is going to actually not have as big of a adjustment because of the time the fight's happening. So It's very interesting stuff. Tom Aspinall's a better fighter. Tom Aspinall is going to win the fight, I believe. But shout out to Curtis fucking Blaydes, man. First time I met Curtis Blaydes was at like local amateur scene, seeing him at fights. His first days of training, he was at UFC Gym Lombard, the same place I started with Mike Jabber way back in the day. And just seeing where he's gone since then, I saw him fight on like local promotions against Daniel the Predator James. He head and arm choked him in like local promotions in Illinois. Seeing him come all the way up to where he is today, getting a title shot. It's beautiful to see. Go Curtis Blaydes. He's a gentleman. He's a kind guy. Been on this show, like I said, but we got to pick with our heads, not our hearts. Tom Aspinall's the best in the world right now. He wins this fight, probably scores a finish.
I think a knockout is very likely for Aspinall. He's going to have a lot better boxing than Curtis Blaydes. And like you said, the jiu-jitsu of Aspinall is there as well. If Blaydes did somehow manage to, engage in a takedown, a sloppy shot, I mean, there's a chance that Aspinall submits a Blaydes on the floor if they entangle in the grappling. Not saying it's likely, but I would say that Aspinall's jiu-jitsu is going to be clearly ahead. But that's not where I think the fight's taking place. I think it's a lot of striking. And I think Aspinall is so much quicker, so much more heavy-handed. And we've seen Blaydes knocked out 2 fights ago. Sergey Pavlovich brutally knocked out Curtis Blaydes. We've seen him knocked out in all of his UFC losses. I mean, granted, one of them was a doctor's stoppage in the first Ngannou fight. But every other one, he's getting put down and out. It's not that Blaydes is a bad chin. It's that these heavyweights hit damn hard. And Tom Aspinall is definitely one of the heaviest hitters in the heavyweight division. And on top of that, one of the fastest heavyweights ever. The boxing of Blaydes is the boxing of Aspinall is the ultimate difference maker. So we're going with Aspinall. He's a -350 favorite. I think he avenges the loss here. Blaydes 285 as the dog. This fight's actually expected to go under 1.5 at -165. And Aspinall by KO is all the way up at -175. Damn, the KO is really expected here.
I did see that line on the under-over. You got to think this goes over a round and a half. Who do they think Curtis Blaydes is? They think he's just going to get slept in the first round? That could happen. Tom Aspinall's fast. Make no mistake. Tom Aspinall is the faster man here. He's got really quick hands. Like I said, light on his feet. He can come in there and just close that distance. Boom, really quick. Let his hands go. With that being said, come on, man. This fight sees the second round.
Yeah, I think. You think it sees the second round?
Third round. I don't know. I think this fight could finish in the, fourth or it could go championship rounds. Curtis Blaydes is the type of guy who can, he'll shoot a takedown and then he'll hold you on the fence a little bit. He scores a takedown, he can pin you on the mat a little bit. He's a big man. I saw him in Hawaii, 2 years ago now, when Bellator was there for the Chris Cyborg fight. And my wife was going to the bathroom to see Curtis Blaydes. I said, "What's up, man? Thanks for being on the show. Good to see you." He is enormous. Curtis Blaydes is huge. So
didn't he not recognize you when you saw him, Finch?
Is that what I told you?
You told me that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Okay. Maybe he did. I didn't recognize it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
No, I don't remember that. Okay. If I said it to you, that's what happened.
Oh,
He's a gentleman, man, but I'm telling you what, that guy's a monster. I think he could stall Aspinall out a little bit on the fence and stuff. So I would just say probably over a round and a half. It's interesting that the odds favor under a round and a half. I don't think they're giving quite enough credit to Razor Blaydes. Yeah, with that being said, Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall for the win for Finch and I both. I think he's getting the KO. He's going to find Blaydes' chin. He's going to avenge the loss, put him out, and he's going to have a mic drop moment as he calls for John Jones to fight the rightful top contender, the interim champ who has defended his belt. So let's go.
Let's go, man. Hey, cool fight.
Cool fight for sure. UFC 304, main event of the evening. If you guys are watching, make sure you smash the likes. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know why you wouldn't. You definitely should. So hit the subscribe button. We got Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad 2. First fight was inconclusive with the no contest. They run it back. I'm taking Leon Edwards to win this fight. I think the striking from range is a massive factor here against Belal Muhammad. I did go back and rewatch that first fight a couple of times, and things that I noticed where Leon Edwards, when he would land, it would seem to have a substantially higher impact as opposed to when Belal Muhammad would land. Now, interesting that Edwards actually failed. Edwards failed on a couple takedown attempts. It's surprising, right, to be saying that Edwards was shooting takedowns on Belal, but he was stuffed a couple of times. He tried to engage in the clinch. Belal Muhammad's a very good wrestler. And it's not that Belal Muhammad's a bad striker either. He has relatively decent stand-up, and, it's especially due to his top caliber gas tank. The thing is, Muhammad's footwork is not to the level of Leon's. I think Leon's going to be chopping at that tree, picking the legs apart. I think his strikes from distance will be on point. I'll expect at some point Belal to close the gap and have him against the cage, work for a takedown. I also think that Leon Edwards lands a takedown, and he's going to want a takedown. Like, it just seems like Leon Edwards likes to show these wrestlers that he can wrestle too. We saw it against Colby. We saw it against Usman. And I think we see it here against Belal Muhammad. I think more significant strikes throughout the fight. I think this is the best version of Leon Edwards ever. He has a substantial speed advantage. He's the more crisp striker, and I think he's just simply better than Belal. Interesting that I feel like this fight could end up being high impact. My official call is a decision, but I don't think it's crazy for Leon Edwards to find the knockout simply because Belal's style of, looking to put pressure and engage could get him cracked with some big bombs. So going to go Leon Edwards for the W, and I will officially say decision, even though it wouldn't blow my mind if this is the one where he ends up getting another knockout.
Belal Muhammad uses his cardio as a weapon, but Leon Edwards has tremendous cardio too. Belal Muhammad has improved his striking tremendously, but Leon Edwards is the most technical striker in the division. Belal Muhammad is a solid wrestler. He's a student of Lewis Taylor, who won the PFL tournament, and I would know. I've trained with Belal Muhammad. I've grappled with him. I used to mop his sweat up all the time at UFC Gym Oaklawn back in the day, and I've seen Belal's entire rise. And who has picked Belal Muhammad more than me, AJ? You tell the folks. When Belal was a 2-1 dog, who was on him multiple times, picking him as my lock of the night? I believe in Belal. I do. Leon Edwards is his kryptonite. Leon Edwards is the worst matchup for Belal Muhammad in the UFC because Leon Edwards also does not get tired. Leon Edwards has the best takedown defense in the division. When you start fighting hands the way Leon Edwards does, he stifles all that cage wrestling, which is Belal Muhammad's bread and butter. He breaks people with cardio, cage wrestling. His striking has improved tremendously. His training with the Dagestanis, with Khabib Nurmagomedov as his coach, wrestling a lot of rounds with Islam Mokaev has certainly helped him. And, he grew up, training with Mike Cannon and Lewis Taylor and Kevin Novacek and Mazen Balut and the Oscar brothers. I'm dropping all the names because I know my guy Belal Muhammad really well. And I'll tell you what, the absolute worst fight in the division for him is Leon Edwards. You saw it in the first fight. Now, I know it was one of the worst eye pokes we've ever seen. It was brutal. Nobody wants to see that. But before the eye poked happened, Leon was doing really well. It's 100% true that Bilal Muhammad's a lot better now. Leon Edwards is also a lot better now. We're talking about champion Leon Edwards. And I believe that Leon Edwards can outstrike and defend takedowns in this fight. You know, Bilal Muhammad and Leon both have 5-round gas tanks. It probably does go 5. They're both durable guys as well. So I do see this thing going all 5. Give me a Leon Edwards decision. And again, going against my Chicago brethren.
Listen, you know what? You got to keep it honest, Finch, man. That's what you're here for, the honest analysis. And, you know, we're both going with Leon Edwards, which I won't lie to you, Finch, I was expecting leading into this. Minus 240 for Leon, which Finch, man, says the kryptonite to Bilal, and I have to agree. Plus 205 for Bilal Muhammad. The over 4.5 is minus 205. It, you know, has a good chance of going later, but ultimately I think Edwards in a parlay would potentially be better. Edwards on the cards is plus 105, knockout plus 350. We both see Leon Edwards winning. Finchman, do you think there's money to be made betting on a Leon Edwards? And the money line's not great, but parlay piece potentially.
Leon is very reliable, but against Colby Covington in the last fight, he fought such a rusty Colby, and he just was not able to pull the trigger. So his finishing ability is pretty bad. So it's tough to bet on a guy who's not a finisher against an absolute cardio machine. I don't know how wide are the odds. I have not looked at the odds for this one. Give me the money line.
Plus 205 money line for Bilal.
I think Leon's bettable in this one. Yeah, I got to stick with my assessment that Leon Edwards is such a bad matchup for Bilal. So, yes.
All right, let's go. Leon Edwards, the pick for the Finchman and I both. Those are the UFC 304 predictions. Now, Finchman, I know you're not dropping the lock tonight, but I will continue to drop the locks on Monday.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm doing it for the people, you know.
Go ahead.
We are going to jump to the lock of the night. UFC 304 lock of the night segment. Finchman is here to give me support, to hype me up, Finchman. I need you to drum roll this before I give my money line lock. And listen, we're doing a money line lock. I need something money lineable, okay? This is not going to be the most confident pick on the card. That's what the most confident pick section is for. Drum roll, please. Mohamed Mokaev to beat Manel Kape. He's going to get the decision. He'll score at least 2 rounds out of the 3. Even if he fatigues later in the fight, I do not believe that Manel Kape is able to finish him. Mohamed Mokaev will remain undefeated, and he will work towards a world title fight.
I am shocked. I think that's the hardest one for me to bet on the card. Me and you disagree here. I think that's so hard to bet on.
I got to go for a fire lock.
You don't think Manel Kape could potentially sleep Mohamed Mokaev?
You know what? I'll tell you this. This is my thought process. I believe it's 75% chance Mokaev wins, 25% chance Kape wins. So in my brain, I say, okay, odds to likelihood of success, how I'm playing out, I'm getting a great deal at minus 135. And if you're like Paku, who played it at plus 110, you get an even better deal. I know that's Paku's lock too, man.
I listen, I already put 3 figures. I'm not that rich on a fight that I liked, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be my lock. I'm doing this thing where I'm dropping my locks on Friday now. So if you guys want to see my locks, links in my channel, come through. I'll make more content. I'm going to do my show after this where I'll pick my 5 most confident. It'll be in there. But I got to keep it gray area for you guys. AJ, cool. You're still giving the lock to the folks.
Listen, I got it, bro. I'm doing a parlay too.
Oh shit.
I'm doing both. I got another parlay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah. Parlay time. I'm betting on a lock, but it ain't Molly Meatball Ernie. That ain't right. Yeah.
You know what, Finch, man? What I got to do is I got to drop your Telegram link, bro. I got to find it.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. Thank you.
I gotta
All
do
you
it.
guys who come through for the Telegram, I appreciate it, man. We're doing more work. I teamed up with my boy T. He's helping me answer stuff on Mike Finch Show Instagram at Mike Finch Show. If you guys want to jump into the premium I'm giving out this last week anyway. I gave out a lock, a parlay, and then 3 premium plays. I'm probably going to keep with that exact same format. I'm giving you guys what I'm actually betting. People have been asking me a long time, and I'm doing it. And AJ, we went 5-0 the first time, and I've had people send me their winnings. People were killing it, man. So somebody bet all of my plays and won a couple grand, which is just sick. So I love it. I love it. We're off to a good start. I'm 5-0 in the cage, and I'm 5-0 on the bets so far. So we're doing good over here, man.
Finchman's trying to talk me into joining them on Telegram, but people, I have not pulled the trigger on that just yet. I don't know if eventually I get enough people telling me to do it, I'll come around. But as of right now, I haven't jumped on it yet. I'm saving for the Finch, man.
Shout out to Cruz. Cruz put $312.50 on over 2.5 Luana Carolina, Lucy Pudilova, parlayed with Miranda Maverick. That was mine anyway. Cody Gibson, Bruno Silva, Steve Garcia money line. $312.50 became $2,508.68. Congratulations to you, brother. You're a savage.
Savage. Listen, I got the lock parlay, my man, and it's against your boy Giga, Arnold Allen, Mick Parkin. That's a money call. That's gonna happen.
So Mick Parkin, fuck yeah. Giga? Damn.
Dude, he's gonna be Giga. Arnold Allen was gonna be my lock if I was just going for a chalky locky, but I wanted to do a money lineable lock and then do a A-tier parlay put together with confident picks.
Wow.
I feel good about it, bro.
Wow. All right. Fucking hate on my boy Giga. Hate on my boy Giga. Go ahead. Doubt him.
Let's see what happens. Listen, let me twist the fucking stash, bro. Let me twist it. Let me twist the stash. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Let me tell you something.
You look instantly like the bad guy in Peter Pan. It's like Captain Hook. Captain Hook.
That's great. People, we appreciate you. Check out the Finch, man. He's about to go live. Actually, I got to get Finch's fucking link up so I can send it to chat.
5 most confident. I'm doing it still for the folks. Come see me. I'll be over on my channel, youtube.com. Jeez.
YouTube.com.
Over here. It's late over here. Actually, it's only 10 o'clock over here. It's
late for me, bro. It's fucking 1:11.
It's 1:11. Yeah. AJ don't go to bed. Come through and we're gonna do the 5 most confident picks. And we'll have a little bit of fun. I'll see you guys in a half hour.
Let's go. Thank you guys all for watching. We appreciate you. Smash the like button if you're new, subscribe, and don't miss the Finchman show. And listen, if you're going to pay for the Finchman's bets, I think there's not a better guy in the space to trust than my boy. I always got to back him. If there's somebody I respected, takes top caliber, it's Mike Finch. So show him some love. And let's go. Let's keep cashing. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.